Homebrew video number 6. We're getting into Ranger now. Surprise! I'm putting half-casters in my Martial book. But I won't be giving out new spells because I don't want to give full casters anything in this book. Anyways, Ranger has a lot of problems, and the wider D&D community has their gripes with it. I disagree with a lot of their takes because I thought a lot of people didn't even try with the class in general. For example, Redditors and content creators refuse to acknowledge that spells are features, and some spells are insanely powerful on this Ranger. It was infuriating because it's like, oh my god, why can't you find spike growth, conjure animals, pass without trace, conjure woodland beings, and stuff like that? At best, they would focus on 2 spells, which is like Hunter's Mark and Swift Quiver. And Swift Quiver is like worse than Hunter's Mark. Oh my god, it's terrible. Then there's the identity argument, which is still around to this day. I don't understand it, to be honest. I think it's fine, they're hunters. That's the identity. And they have mechanics that are powerful in the wilderness, like making good berries. Now, there are some valid criticisms against good berries, but let's not get too much into that. One thing I want to say is I wish they got Find Familiar in their base class, though. That would fit better with hunting and scouting and stuff like that. And maybe they can have a feature where they lay a trap, like a bear trap. I feel like the problem with that specifically is people don't actually know how to use that optimally. And the base traps in the game are pretty bad. Feature-wise, we can boost things up to something really interesting. But that's another subclass idea to play around with. I haven't made it yet. Anyways, 2024 happened and all the powerful things got nerfed to the ground, which puts the class in a very flat power level. And they're extremely feat-starved, which is so bad. It's a huge pain in the butt to get Sharpshooter and Crossbow Expert now, because they made the feats gated, which makes me furious. I understand Ranger super duper well. I know exactly what they need. Out of all the classes I've brewed for, these guys are the easiest to design for. Just like the Martials, they just need more options and power. Now, I'm going to be going against D&D design. I don't care if this is more broken than the other Ranger subclasses in the game. I don't care about the identity or concept. That's honestly an afterthought. I care more about mechanics than coming up with character ideas for you. You create the flavor of your own character. We're playing a tabletop game, come on. I just want to make something mechanically fun that you're excited for at every single level. If I can get you to progress this subclass all the way to the end, then I'm happy. I don't want you to progress 5 levels in Ranger then dip out like everybody does. Anyways, welcome to Pack Tactics, where this Ranger specifically is the most straightforward out of all the Rangers I've made. The others tap into a much different gameplay. Before we begin, this video is sponsored by Describe, which enhances your gaming experience through immersion with fancy descriptions written by professional writers, and sounds and music by an award-winning musician in the tabletop space. That's right, this is real art with true passion. I've worked with them before AI was even a thing, and they work with the best in the tabletop industry. They've never changed. They've just been growing and growing and growing and growing. I kid you not, they have over 7,200 music, sound effects, and ambience tracks. And they have an app that kind of functions like Spotify. What makes it different is you can mix any sound effect and or ambience with any music you're playing. So if your party is in a busy bar, you can have background chatting while this song here plays. Then when the bar gets set on fire, you can turn the ambience into people screaming and fleeing for their lives. I absolutely recommend checking out Describe. I'll be playing their music throughout this entire video. Use the code PACKTACTICS, that's one word, for a free 30-day trial on the platform. Link in the description. Now back to the video. Now here's the flavor text. Vile Hunter. These hunters take advantage of necromancy to kill their prey with efficiency. They're known for being bounty hunters. I was thinking of making them a voodoo master or like a cursed ranger, but I just imagine them as completely outcast rangers. And they really don't care. There's a punk rock attitude to it. Now, Wizards of the Coast made Ranger's main feature Hunter's Mark. They followed Reddit design. But even then, they somehow botched that up, because Reddit wants Hunter's Mark to not require concentration. I disagree with everyone on this spell. I really don't think this should be a main feature. Even without concentration, this spell is still boring. The idea of non-concentration Hunter's Mark is fine, by the way. Like, one of the subclasses I've made has non-concentration Hunter's Mark. But that has a special bonus to it as well, because, well, as a standalone, it's still boring. In all of the subclasses, I tried to make Hunter's Mark really fun in different ways. Here's my take on one of them. It's called Link Souls. Whenever you cast Hunter's Mark, you can mark an additional creature. When one marked creature takes damage from your attack, the other marked creature takes necrotic damage equal to half the damage dealt to the first creature, rounded down. When you reach Ranger level 11, the necrotic damage dealt to the second creature equals the same amount you dealt to the first.
Kobold, that's crazy!
Gator, it's Hunter's Mark. You're trapped with Hunter's Mark as your main feature. So let's make the main feature worth your concentration and actually fun and different.
This is going to be a dip subclass.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some sorcerers doing this. But it's mainly helping the marshals, halfcasters, and gishes, really. And those are the ones I want to help anyways. If they get a ramp up in power, that's fine. I'm also aware that you can bag a rats this in a way where you can just mark someone with 10 AC and do damage to them, so the dragon with 21 AC or whatever takes damage. The voodoo doll tech here is intentional. I'm also going to be giving you zombies later. Clever ideas like this are fun for players, and I think it should be rewarded. Next is the spells. They're what you expect. Phantasmal Force and Animate Dead are the really big ones. Especially Phantasmal Force for single targets. You'll most likely be going back and forth with this, Hunter's Mark, and Spike Growth throughout your entire career. As for Animate Dead, you can rest cast Animate Dead and have a small group of skeletons once you're in late tier 2 and up. If you want more information on why Phantasmal Force is amazing on this ranger, I highly recommend checking out this video. Anyways, next is Vile at level 7. When you kill a creature marked by your Hunter's Mark spell, you regain hit points equal to the damage you dealt that caused the killing blow. In addition, you have resistance to necrotic damage. Even though this can potentially heal you a lot, this is honestly kind of boring, and I kept it that way because of how good the 3rd level feature is. But this goes crazy once you hit level 11. You get Death Snap. Once per long rest, you can cast a Finger of Death spell without expending a spell slot. In addition, when you cast a Finger of Death spell at a creature affected by your Link Souls feature, the other creature affected by that feature takes the same amount of necrotic damage. You can also cast a Finger of Death spell by expending a 3rd level spell slot or higher.
Whoa, that's super duper early, what the heck? Kobold, this is a 7th level spell! That's broken!
By the way, real quick, the Link Soul feature itself improved here too, so the second creature takes the same amount of damage as the first. Anyways, let's hand Grace the Magnum. 7d8 plus 30 necrotic damage on a failed save. It does half damage. The average damage of this spell is 46.12. Single target wise at this level, 46.12 is not that impressive as a Nova. So that's why I'm letting you cast it as a 3rd level spell and up. What is crazy is the Hunter's Mark combo with this. And if you do manage to kill someone with Finger of Death, especially both creatures, you're basically gonna get all your HP back, so that's awesome. And you have an incredibly easy way to do this. You can mark one of your zombies or skeletons. Remember the voodoo tech, it's really powerful in your kits. What's funny is I don't actually expect all your spell slots to go into this spell. There's still valid reasons to cast Conjure Animals, Conjure Barrage, and other powerful spells. But this probably will be your go-to with Hunter's Mark. I did compare Conjure Barrage with Finger of Death single target wise, and Finger of Death is only 9 average damage higher than Conjure Barrage. So if you get 3 creatures in Conjure Barrage, that's better than Finger of Death. That's really easy with Conjure Barrage because it's a huge AoE, and there's no friendly fire there. So the 3rd level Finger of Death here turned out to be kind of balanced. I'm talking damage-wise, of course. That heal potential is really crazy. By the way, this ranger might gun down a ton of innocent humanoids to create an army of zombies. But I think that's both fun for the player and the DM. There's a lot of storytelling potential there. It's super messed up, but extremely powerful. Anyways, now for the capstone, Grim Reaper. Whenever you cast a Finger of Death spell, you can force the creature to make an intelligence saving throw against the spell rather than constitution. In addition, if you cast Finger of Death with a 4th level spell slot or higher, instead of rolling damage, you can choose to deal 80 necrotic damage instead. It's pretty straightforward, flat 80 damage and int save, which will make it so the spell lands a lot more often. You won't have that much ammunition when you get it. You can do it twice. I might change this feature into something more fun, but I can't think of anything currently, so feedback would be nice here. Anyways, that's my take on a basic ranger. End the video. If you like this video and want to see this book become real, consider donating to my Patreon. That way we can get a bunch of art for this book. That's the phase I'm at right now. I can draw, but I don't have the skills to draw a book cover or something professional like this. I draw like a 12-year-old. Also, remember to check out Describe, link in the description. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye!